I had been already working for, I mean, that would take long to start thinking about that, but I was personally interested in the subject of the imperialism, colonization, and the slave trade. Always been a big interest for me, especially because I was born so in France, in Nantes, who is the equivalent to Liverpool. It was the biggest harbor in the slave trade for France, and I think it was one of the ones that were still doing that trade very late, even once it was forbidden, it was not allowed. And you can see traces. I mean, all the city was built on this money. All the the wealth for that of that city was built on the slave trade. And as a young child, my mom took me to the museum because there's a museum, and there were artifacts about the slave trade. And I remember I was very young, I think maybe 8. And that was such an enormous shock for me to discover, because it was very realistic. You had real things and depiction. I can't remember if there were illustrations or things, but you had the real details and the description of like how we would put people in. Like, it was, as a child, I was extremely shocked, because I had no idea that for me adults were responsible people, and and so that some adults could do that to other adults just because they could, and just because maybe they were different, was enormously shocking to me. And I think that opened an understanding of the of the world and the darkness of the world I lived in as a child. Okay, so that's my, I guess, my interest. So, and the collection, I found it really mysterious, because I know that those books were so old, but also the fact that they were there, but not taken away, not borrowed, or there was this word of an untouched collection. So a collection of amazing, great interest, but that was, left there and maybe not consulted, not read. So there was a bit of mystery as well.